Hi everyone, welcome to our event today. I'm very passionate about the topic, not just because myself and my whole team, we all love great food, especially ramen and hen, but also because we've actually seen and managed many client cases who have just done amazingly in the digital marketing space. So today, my goal of the presentation is to try to translate the insights that we've developed from the experiences to practical, actionable tips for everyone to take away. When we think about customer data these days, it's almost business as usual for many industries in this day and age. But strangely, for the hospitality industry, the practice of collecting and using customer data is still very uncommon. Many years ago, the retail industry is in a very similar position. But then, as the business owners of the retail industry see a very obvious decline in foot traffic to the brick and mortar stores, and also the increasing competition from the online retailers, they are forced to have both online and offline presence in order to achieve their online sales. But for the restaurants and cafes in the hospitality industry, they haven't felt the need to develop online presence and also to start collecting and using customer data is because they don't sell anything online. But the truth is, having a customer database is so much more than just to get online sales. For example, when you're thinking that business owners of restaurants and cafes, they tend to think that they own their customers as long as their food is being loved. But when their location changes or when their owner changes, the customers, they don't really have a real connection with these businesses. They don't have a database for their regular customers, especially those loyal customers. And having a customer database can do so much more for them than just achieving online sales. For example, just now I mentioned about location change. When you are moving from Tuwon to Sunnybank, you want to inform your most valuable customers that you're moving. And also when you are having new offerings, like your new dishes, your events, and any kind of promotions, you want your loyal customers to know and you want the support from them. So that's one really good benefit to have, that because having customer data enables you to communicate with them on a very individual level. So some business owners from the hospitality industry, they might argue, I have a Facebook channel, I have an Instagram channel. If I have any news or if my location changes or I have a new location, I can just make an announcement on social media. But the truth is, especially Facebook, nowadays they only allow up to 5% exposure of any organic content publicized by the page in order to reach your own fans. And if you want to reach the rest of your fan base, you have to use advertising to do that. But not every customer is following your social channel, and also not everyone logs in that regularly. So that poses a problem. And in order to start collecting customer data from today, or if you think that this is actually a good idea, we suggest that you don't ask for too much information. If it's for local customers, just email and phone is sufficient. And if you also serve Chinese customers, then collecting their WeChat ID or get them to scan your WeChat ID or WeChat QR code, that will be sufficient. In order to do that, you can use an online instrument called landing page. Because with a lot of restaurants and cafes, the point of sale is usually very busy. The staff is just hectic with serving customers and also baristas trying to make coffees as well. They don't have the luxury of having like the retail store staff. They have time to have a chit chat with the customer and then get them to sign up to their newsletters. But for the hospitality industry, you have to leverage online space, offering an incentive to get people online to sign up like volunteer their information with you, and a landing page, which takes a few hours to build, would be a very simple and effective method. So we just mentioned about incentive. And we see many restaurants and cafes, they offer incentives to get customer engagement, and sometimes it's to get customer information and engagement on their social media channels. So offering a reward and incentive is common, but there are two keywords with offering these incentives. One is simple, and the other one is discreet. So with the simple part, I think it makes sense because you have to make it simple for people to get involved and redeem their prizes. Otherwise, they might just not bother doing it. Sometimes we come across a competition that sounds like this. Okay, in order to get your free serve of spring roll, you have to like us on the Facebook page, check in with a photo and the hashtag, then come to our shop and then show it to our staff to receive your spring rolls. So it's just a lot of effort required from the customer in order to get something that might be deemed as low value. We recommend no more than 2 steps. If you're ever going to offer an incentive or reward, make it very simple to redeem. And then the second keyword is being discreet. Everyone loves free stuff, but not necessarily everyone wants to be seen as requesting free stuff. That's just, in any culture, I would say in Australian culture and in Chinese culture especially, I think like lose face is a word, and in Chinese we have a counterpart word for lose face, which is 丢脸. So if you're offering something free, you want to eliminate or reduce as much embarrassment as possible for your customers. No one likes being embarrassed, and even worse, when your staff member is not familiar with the reward itself, or even if they just show a slight hesitation when they're trying to ask for the reward, it all adds to the embarrassment. So in order to make it a breeze for them, you have to have a very thought through incentive strategy. Otherwise, you might lose a long-term loyal customer. The next one is a good news. Hospitality is social media perfect. It's needless to say that social media is quite big for the hospitality industry, especially restaurants and cafes. For a lot of Australian local businesses, their social media channel sometimes is the only presence that they have online. They don't even have a website. Everything happens just in their social media channel. But for a lot of new Chinese immigrants-owned restaurants and cafes, there is a gradual change of not knowing what to do, not being familiar with the platform, to gradually embarking on the social media that locals use. And there are also Chinese people using the social media as well, especially for international students. The first month that they land in Australia, they want to blend in, and Facebook will be one of the very first platforms that they want to get into in order to blend in. So why does social media work so well for the hospitality industry? Sebastian, do you know the answer? To yeah. Very good. It's very visual. So there's a mindset match between people who are using social media and the food and drinks offerings. Because when people are using social media, they go to those channels for leisure, and food and drinks are leisure. So there's a perfect match between the two. That's why there's a natural advantage for hospitality businesses to use social media as a marketing channel. They're very visual. How many times when you see a spectacular dessert on Facebook and then you go like this? I know Roman does that. Like, yeah, Roman doesn't even have to see a picture. When she imagines it, then she can do that. And this happens very often in our office. So, like hospitality industry, they're very easy to gain love on social media, and they're very easy to gain peer-to-peer engagement as well, because eating is often social, and we often come across clients' Facebook pages when there are customers commenting on the photo and tagging their friends. They'll be like, dude, check this out, or let's go there this weekend. So it is a content that's very easy to inspire peer-to-peer engagement as well. But although there is a natural advantage with hospitality industry to get involved with social media, you still need to be very strategic about it in order to get real returns and outperform your competitors. So I've got 4 points here. The first one is you have to know your strength and constantly remind your followers of your strength. Whether it's value for money, your customer service, the presentation of your dishes, or the atmosphere of your venue, your food taste consistency, or your location convenience, opening late, that kind of advantage. You might think that your customers already know them, but it's still your responsibility to constantly remind them so that when they're thinking about these values, your restaurant name pop into their head the first. And then secondly, appetite needs to be prompted. People are kind of promiscuous when it comes to food selection. Although they love your food, but they have so much other choices and selections out there. So for business owners of the hospitality industry, I think we should constantly prompt people's appetite for every occasion. What does Easter have to do with going to this restaurant? Create an occasion, create a gathering kind of occasion, and then get people to think about, that's a good idea. Then when it comes to your content variety, we see many business owners who DIY their social media channels. They would just be constantly putting lavishing photos of their dishes and products onto their social media channel, which can be good. People like looking at those photos maybe once or twice in a week. But if that's all the things that you post, then they get a fatigue about it. So you need to diversify your content. Some of the good ideas include, your happy customers. When they're at your restaurant, when they're enjoying their meals, having their families around, new specials of the month, events going on at your restaurant, and reviews. Whether this review comes from TripAdvisor, Zomato, Google, Facebook, share them, make them into a post and then share in your social media. Celebrate that success publicly. And also, the last one is very often being ignored, which is user-generated content. Because some business owners, they struggle with taking photos, or they're busy with their operations and they don't have time to take photos of their own dishes. But the reality is a lot of customers have already created quite a bit of a content for you in the social media space. You just have to explore them, whether it's using a hashtag that's related to your businesses, or just check your location. How many people have checked into your location on Instagram or Facebook with a photo already. And we as agencies, we sometimes, when we're serving our clients, we just ask our clients' customers, is that okay to share your post on our Facebook page or Instagram channel? Nobody ever said no. They'd be very happy to have their own photos being shared on social media at of a place that they love to go to. And then the last one is create a brand persona. 10, your customers' affection for food, 2, affection for your brand. An extreme case would be this guy, Salt Bae. Many of you might know him. He's internet sensation. He's got 21.5 million followers. Very entertaining. People follow him. They don't They follow his restaurants as well, but they follow him as a person, and their merchandise developed around this person. Very dramatic and precise. Check him out. And the last tip for today is Google reviews checkmate everything else. As customers of food and drinks ourselves, we might use Zomato, TripAdvisor to get a feel of, what this restaurant is like. But eventually, when we're traveling to that place, the last bridge that we use is Google Map. And with Google Map, Google reviews is obviously displayed in every location. So no matter how good reviews, glowing reviews you get in other platforms, if your Google reviews is bad, it kind of offsets everything and then puts second thoughts in people's head. And sometimes it might be a showstopper. Using Google Map is almost becoming a habitual thing in everybody's life. So in 2018, Google Map is among the top 10 most downloaded apps globally. I have the latest navigation system installed in my car, and I've never even used it once. It's big, it's more clear, but I'd rather stare at my little phone. It's just because Google Maps interface is something that I'm familiar with, and I bookmarked a lot of places in there. So yeah, fix your Google reviews before you even consider investing in online advertising for your restaurants or cafes. Then the last one is a significant phenomenon in the past 3 years, which is the growth in near me searches on Google. Some of the near me statistics during 2016 to 2018, I'll read them out for you. Over 150% growth in mobile searches for near me now. For example, food near me now, gas station near me now. Over 900% growth in mobile searches for near me today or tonight. For example, open houses near me today, cheap hotels near me tonight. Over 200% growth in mobile searches for near me open now. For example, restaurants near me open now, pharmacy near me open now. So reviews management, especially Google reviews, which is associated with Google Map, is absolutely vital for both Australian customers and also Chinese customers as well. And this is the end of my presentation. I hope you've learned a few useful tips today. And if you need to be more strategic with managing your hospitality business, do talk to myself after the event today. And we do offer specialized services for landing page design, social media management, and EDMs. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your night tonight.